In this video, I'm jumping into some of the most historic, iconic neighborhoods here in San Antonio, Texas. If you're into old homes full of history and art and culture, if you're into communities with a story to tell, then stay tuned because we're getting into it right now. What's going on, family? This is Greg Foster with Market Boss at eXp Realty right here in San Antonio, Texas. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, eating, chilling, and playing in San Antonio, Texas, then click the subscribe button and tap that little bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. And my team and I, we're getting calls every single day from folks just like you looking into San Antonio, Texas. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the San Antonio area, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio is full of so many amazing neighborhoods, both old and new. And these top 5 historic communities are the source of so much history and culture and the vibe of what San Antonio is really known for. So let's check it out. Number 5 is Monte Vista. Translated from Italian, Monte Vista stands for mountain view and is one of San Antonio's original suburbs. It sits on topography overlooking downtown and many other parts of the city. You're about as centrally located in central San Antonio as you can possibly get. You're about 5 minutes from downtown, 7 minutes from the airport, and less than 10 minutes away from the Texas Medical Center. And it's just a phenomenal location for quick access to everything that San Antonio has to offer. Monte Vista is arguably the most prominent neighborhood that emerged from San Antonio's Gilded Age from 1890 to 1930, when the city really began to establish itself as something more than just a cattle outpost. And it's where many of the prominent residents in the oil and the cattle industries decided to make their home at the time. The sheer size of the historic district here is what makes Monte Vista really important. San Antonio has a number of smaller historic neighborhoods, and yet as one of the largest historic districts in the nation, it's the constant preservation and maintenance of the old world charm here that makes this neighborhood so valuable. There's specific street signs here used to notate the area that are brown that say Monte Vista Historic District, and the homes that you'll find here are absolutely stunning. There's such a wide range of homes featured here, from smaller investor properties to multifamily and even bungalows from the turn of the century that are full of character, along with mid-sized homes as well. There's always such a wide demographic of home buyers looking in the San Antonio market, and Monte Vista has something for everybody. The architectural styles in this community range from craftsmanship to Italian Renaissance, and the materials and the labor force at the time that these homes were built is something that's just lost today. You don't have artisans today that can hand mill and craft wood and fashion it the way that they used to do it back then. Those details are just things that are lost in production homes and even a lot of custom homes that you see built today. These homes have long leaf pine wood, original hardwood floors, high ceilings, so many details, and these are things that just make these homes super unique from anything else that you're going to find in San Antonio. The private schools in Monte Vista are some of the very best in the area, and each year they send students to Ivy League colleges and major universities all across the country. And your children, if you have small children in your family, usually they'll find friends that live on the same block that turn into classmates and lifelong friends that they'll end up growing up with. When you drive through this community and you see so many of the homes just steeped in architectural detail and history, if you're really into that, you just can't help but get excited about Monte Vista. And for the people that really appreciate it, I don't think they choose to live anywhere else. Number 4 is TERRELL Hills. TERRELL Hills is named after Dr. Frederick Terrell, who was a local bank president and actually served as mayor of San Antonio back in 1901. Development in the community originally began back in 1919, and it was incorporated as a municipality back in 1939. And to this day, it still stands as an island, as a city within the city limits of San Antonio, which lends to the strong sense of community and pride of everybody who lives here. You see people out in the streets walking their dogs, there's joggers and cyclists, people walking with their babies, kids riding their bikes and playing together, and it just has a small town feel within such a larger city. Many of the residents have lived in TERRELL Hills for decades, and it's great to hear stories about who owned the homes before, the sequence of ownership, and how those homes came to be. Those stories and those memories have been preserved over the last 100 years by the families that have lived here. Driving in, one of the things that you'll notice right off the bat is just all of the beauty that surrounds you. TERRELL Hills has some of the most mature and manicured manicured landscaping you'll find anywhere in San Antonio, with tall oak trees stretching clear up into the sky. And beneath the treetops, there's a wide variety of homes to choose from. You've got traditional homes in Mediterranean, and you've also got everything from small cottages with mid-century design to some of the largest and most prestigious estates that you'll find anywhere in the city. And you'll find a really good mix when it comes to your neighbors. There's young people, single people, small families, big families, retirees, and many people living in the neighborhood spend a lot of time outside getting to know each other. And this is all within a tight little community that spans only about 1.5 square miles. As its own little city, Terrell Hills actually has its own fire department and police force that serves only the Terrell Hills area, so the response time here is really quick. They're also fairly visible in the community, and so you get a chance to actually know some of these officers, know some of these firefighters, and so there's just a really strong sense of safety and security when you live here in the Terrell Hills area. People are really passionate about living here, and when you talk to the residents, they describe Terrell Hills as a community full of love and friends and family. It's an amazing place to live, and while the homes here are beautiful and historic and welcoming, it's really the families and the people that make this such an amazing community. Number 3 is Olmos Park. Located just 4 miles north of downtown, like Terrell Hills, Olmos Park is an enclave within the city limits of San Antonio and was first developed in the 1920s. It's definitely a smaller community at just 0.6 square miles in area, and it's centrally located to all of the major highway systems in San Antonio. You're just a few minutes from downtown and a quick shot over to the Texas Medical Center, which is really great for a lot of the doctors, nurses, and medical staff that live close by in the area. Right there in the neighborhood, you're close to grocery stores and boutique shopping and some amazing restaurants. For anything that you're going to need, you're not going to have to be dealing with fighting traffic ever. And that's if you want to get in the car and go somewhere. One of the things that Olmos Park is really known for is being one of the top walkable communities with some of the best amenities that you're going to find right outside your doorstep. You have the Alameda Park that has fun little neighborhood activities throughout the year, and the trails that take you down to the Olmos Park and the Olmos Basin. And the basin has little league fields and softball and baseball, trails for you to go, and you can walk around across the way to the quarry, get your cup of coffee in the morning, or do a little bit of shopping. There's great restaurants, and they're all within walking distance from a lot of the homes here in Olmos Park. And the schools in this area are just absolutely fabulous, and that's always a main draw for families with kids. You're in the Alamo Heights School District, which is a small school district with only 1 high school, 1 middle school, and 3 elementary schools, one of which is just for kindergarten. And if you live in Olmos Park, your kids can ride the school bus to all of those schools. People in Olmos Park really appreciate the strong sense of community here. It's a great location because of all the great schools and the hilly park-like setting of everything, and you have these homes that are just absolutely beautiful. It looks like they each have their own story to tell, and it makes you just want to go inside. There's that sense of history that's respected here, and a bond in the community where people know their neighbors, they look out for their neighbors, and it's really a small city within the larger city limits of San Antonio. You have your own police force here and your own fire department as well, and it's those city services that really draw a lot of people to the Olmos Park area. To many people, Olmos Park really represents a true sense of family and a true sense of home. Generations of families have raised their kids here, moved away, and come back here. Driving through Olmos Park, you get a feeling of returning to a familiar place, even if you've never been here before. The roots run really deep here in Olmos Park, and it's a special place to call home. Number 2 is Alamo Heights. Alamo Heights is located right in the heart of central San Antonio, and it's one of the most in-demand and desired neighborhoods in all of the Alamo City. It was originally incorporated back in 1922, and there's been so much growth and redevelopment and revitalization here that many of the homes have been updated with newer, more modern finishes in such a way that it still maintains the old world classic charm and the vibe that this entire area has come to be known for. For many people, it's just that classic storybook neighborhood where you know the people on either side of you, you know the neighbors in front of you, the neighbors behind you. There's just a wholesome vibe that a lot of people are looking for, and they tend to find it right here in Alamo Heights. And it's actually known as the City of Charm because it's so beautiful and so welcoming here. You have tree-lined streets, you have a park, and a community pool. You have the rolling topography, the bluffs, the hills, all the lush scenery, and it was developed back in the 1920s. That was the goal, was to preserve a lot of that beauty in such a way that even to this day, it's hard to find in many other parts of San Antonio. When you drive down the street here, every home here looks different with its own unique characteristics and its own identity. The homes here really run the gamut from smaller cottages all the way up to larger, sophisticated estates. You'll find all kinds of styles here. There's traditional, Mediterranean, mid-century modern, ranch style, modern, and contemporary. There's nothing cookie cutter at all about the homes here in Alamo Heights, and people really enjoy this community and a lot of the amenities that are close by. There's definitely a walkability factor to this area. If you want to park your car car and work on your carbon footprint, you can walk down to the grocery store, to some of your favorite restaurants, to some of the local shops nearby, or even just take a stroll down to the park. You have access to the nature trails with the OLMOS Basin, and then there's the Broadway corridor with all of the museums, the shops, the entertainment, the dining. You're not spending your life getting there, you're spending your life living there and being there. Similar to OLMOS Park on TERRELL Hills, Alamo Heights is one of the safest neighborhoods in San Antonio with its own fire department and police force as well. And a lot of the kids are either walking to school or riding their bikes there every day. The Alamo Heights School District is consistently ranked one of the top school districts in the state of Texas, and it's also known for its Spanish immersion program where kids go to school in Spanish from first grade all the way through their senior year. There's great students, great parents, great teachers, great coaches here, and it clearly shows. A lot of people are finding what they're looking for in Alamo Heights, so no matter where you are, in what stage in life, and what you have going on, chances are Alamo Heights could be a really good fit for you too. And number one is Southtown, arguably one of the most iconic neighborhoods in San Antonio for its history, its art, and its culture. Development in Southtown originally began back in the mid-18th century just south of downtown San Antonio. This is the original neighborhood in San Antonio, and the historic district along with the city have done a really great job of maintaining the character and the charm down here. In the 1990s, San Antonio commissioned a neighborhood revitalization project in Southtown that grew to encompass all 5 of the smaller neighborhoods here. You got King William, Collins Garden, Lavaca, Roosevelt, and Lone Star, all of which are some of the most walkable communities that you're going to find anywhere in the Alamo City, with downtown right in your backyard. You can literally jump on your bike or scooter and actually work and recreate and reside all in the same place, and that kind of access is just irreplaceable. The homes here are really special, and the events, the attractions, the things to do here, the character, it kind of just fits anybody. Whether you're an empty nester or single or raising a family, there's lots for you to choose from here. There's lofts and condos along with smaller bungalow type homes and bigger Victorian style homes on up to larger estates. It really has a true neighborhood feel to it, and there's so many opportunities for you to connect with the community and the people that live around you. Southtown is a really perfect blend of this like funky art culture that's always been there for a long time, and it has such a rich history as an art district. Every month you have First Friday, which is this free, family-friendly art walk event where local artists come out and showcase their work and bring it out to the community. And there's live shows and performances that create just an awesome atmosphere and environment for everybody to come out and connect with each other in the community. Annual events and parades and fairs raise revenue for scholarships in the area, and it really just feels like a village where everyone comes together to support you and encourage you in everything that you're doing. Living in Southtown is really about the experience, and you'll find that your neighbors and the other residents that live in this area are usually into the same kind of experience that you are. And there's so many opportunities here with access to large employers. There's HEB's corporate headquarters down here, Geekdom downtown, and just north of downtown you've also got the Pearl District as well. Being able to shorten your commute, eat well at a ton of amazing restaurants, and go see some art, and just hang out with people around you and be in community, Southtown really is the place for that. And if you're wanting more information about these neighborhoods or any other communities in the San Antonio area, my team and I, we're getting calls every single day from folks just like you who are looking into the Alamo City. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the San Antonio area, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas.